Welcome to Nourished Stories from the Table. I'm Mel, and I'm so glad you're here. There's something special that happens when we gather around a table. We slow down, we share a meal, we laugh, we sometimes cry, we tell stories we've never told before. Food has a remarkable way of connecting us. I am a passionate cook, chef, and all round foodie with over 15 years of experience in the kitchen. Each week, I'll be inviting someone to my table. Together, we'll uncover the stories that have shaped who they are. We'll talk about childhood memories, family traditions, life's unexpected twists, the meals they'll never forget, and the people who changed them along the way. And yes, we'll nerd out over all things cooking and food. Food is the thread that weaves every story together. So let's get cooking. Today's guest believes food isn't just something we eat, it's something we inherit. Growing up in a Calabrese family in the south coast of New South Wales, Australia, food was simply a way of life. Her dad grew much of what the family ate, preserving the seasons and teaching often without realising, lessons that would stay with her forever. It wasn't until years later she truly understood what she'd been given. Life took Ange in many directions, from hospitality to human resources to a 16-month adventure travelling around the world. But no matter where she went or what she did, food kept calling her home. Today, she's an Italian cooking teacher, food tour host, recipe creator, and passionate storyteller, helping others discover the joy of gathering around a table. I'd like to give you a big warm welcome to Ange. Welcome, Ange. It's lovely to have you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And as we were just talking about, we actually know a lot of people in common.
Yes.
And I've never actually been to one of your beautiful cooking classes, which is very sad.
Well, my cooking classes, you would have been well and truly overseas when my classes started in
Yes,
2018.
yes.
So where were you then? Where were you in 2018?
2018. Oh no, actually, I was in New South Wales or
Oh, okay.
Queensland. I was back in Australia. Yeah. So,
Okay.
but I've just never. I don't know. Next time I'm in Sydney, I'm
Okay.
booking a class for
You're
sure.
coming in. I'll give you a
I'm coming
discount.
in. Thanks, babe. Wonderful. All right, so let's get the ball rolling.
Okay.
Where do we find you in the world today? Where are you?
I'm in Sylvania, which is South Sydney, about 26 kilometres from Sydney City. So I'm in the burbs, I'm in the suburbs of Sylvania. And I have my cooking school at the back of my home.
It looks
So
incredible.
thank you. It's quite convenient because I just walk outside of my house and I can, go to the studio, which is attached to the house, but just, yeah, it's not in my house, which is good.
Yeah,
And that's where my cooking school's sort of based, and I work, at home and from the school. So yeah, it's great. I
that's
can do all
wonderful.
the chores and all the kids stuff in between, so it's really good.
And it's great to have that separation from the house too, so you can sort of
Yeah.
switch off house,
Mm.
parenting, living life, and then
Yeah,
into the
yeah.
school.
Yeah, I do go in there when the kids are annoying me and just shut the door and hide
I
in
like this.
there.
I like the sound of that. I need something like that myself.
Yeah, yeah. It's good.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me about how the cooking school started, sort of your background. As I mentioned in the introduction, you grew up in a Calabrese household, and that's
hmm
sort of where your food started. So tell us briefly a bit about that.
Um, all right. So, I it's convoluted, but I mean, I left school and started actually studying landscape architecture. So gardening and food was always a big part of my upbringing because my dad grew everything that we ate, and I was always I followed him around everywhere, so I was in the garden a lot with him. And then food, obviously being Italian, Calabrese. Food, very important and was, food is life, for
Yeah,
Italians, I think, and Europeans, I don't know.
absolutely.
So when I left school, I mean, I was a bit lost, but I just got into landscape architecture. But that was quite a difficult industry when I was 18 to be female in. I was one of three girls in a class of about 30 odd men, and all of them owned landscape architecture businesses, and they said they wouldn't hire me or us females because of the physical aspect of the role. Like
Really? Wow.
yeah. I know that's, probably a lot. It's very different, I know now, but back then
Yeah.
that scared me. So I left that and got into hospitality management, and then it just sort of from there, I did lots of different things. I studied pastry, so I studied to be a pastry chef when I was in my late 20s. So, I worked in various hospitality roles. I was in front
Okay.
of house a lot, so I did a lot of restaurant roles, restaurant manager roles, and went into HR and lost my way a little bit through HR, but then came back in my late 20s and studied to be a pastry chef and worked in the industry, which was really hard. I think a lot of these shows nowadays glorify, but it was very hard, like MasterChef and all those kinds of
Yeah,
shows.
it's very romanticized.
It's romanticized, but it was,
Yes.
I don't know if I haven't been in the industry for a while now, but when I was in my late 20s, early 30s, it was very hard, yucca. So I was pastry chefing in kitchens. And then my husband and I decided to have kids. And I was also making my own Italian pastries while I was working in the industry and selling them at like farmers markets. So I was doing like massive hours, starting really early in my pastry chef roles, like 5 a.m., and working, doing 80-hour weeks, 60 to 80-hour weeks in that role. And then, yeah, and then baking, sort of coming closer to the end of the week, I'd bake Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night for Saturday morning market. Yeah, I was nuts. I don't know how I did that now. Like, I couldn't do that now in my menopausal
No, no,
stage.
no.
But
There is not enough energy in the room for that.
no, no. So I was doing all of that, and then I fell pregnant with my first child, Freya, and then I sort of thought I want to just have a bit of a break while I, give birth and have Freya, and so that's what I did. I had a bit of a break, but then in that break, which was probably about 4 to 6 months, I thought, oh, I can't go back into that industry and what I was doing with the baby, like with my baby, because I just
Yeah,
knew it wasn't going to be sustainable. So we had moved into the place that we're in now, and where my cooking studio currently was the previous owner's laundry. Like it was a laundry, a bathroom, and a shed, but
oh
it,
wow,
it
okay.
had but it had to be renovated. So I asked my husband if I could turn that into a cooking studio and start sharing what I, love and have learnt through my role as, pastry chefs and growing up in an Italian family. So he said yes, and we renovated that room and that sort of area into my current cooking studio. And so then I started running Italian inspired cooking classes from there, and have just been
Incredible.
doing that since. And yeah, I love it.
What year was that
I
when that started?
That was 2018. So
2018.
2018 December was when I officially opened. Yeah,
Right. Yeah, and I
yeah.
can see I've had a look on your Instagram, and the food that you and your students make is incredible.
Mm,
Really
thank you,
beautiful and very
thank you.
authentic. Yeah.
Yeah, I tried. Well, I do different I do seasonal classes because, it's very important in Italian
Mm,
philosophy and cooking
absolutely.
is cooking with the season. So I do seasonal classes, I do regional cooking classes, try to highlight the regional dishes from all the different regions of Italy. Particularly, I do a Calabrese class celebrating my heritage. But
Yeah,
I love all the
absolutely.
different regions of Italy and what they bring to the tables. I love to showcase that, and people love to experience that, and to
Oh,
um,
absolutely.
those that can't be in Italy come,
Yes.
yeah, come
I'm
and
I'm
sample
still
food.
I'm still reeling from my trip to Italy last year.
Oh yeah.
I actually
Uh,
I definitely bought part of it back with me. I think
Where were
about it
you in
every
Italy?
day.
Where did you go?
I was actually down in Calabrese at the Italian Culinary Institute.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
yeah, yeah, that was really beautiful. And then Tracy and my girlfriend and I, we travelled around Sicily, drove to Sicily.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, Sicily's beautiful. Mm.
that was an incredible eye-opening experience driving on the Italian roads down there. Um, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
they are crazy.
Yes. Yeah, we're doing that in September, October this year. We're driving
Oh, beautiful.
from Roma, going down to Puglia, through Calabria, then Sicilia, and up to Naples, and then flying over to Paris. But yeah,
Oh, that
it's going to
sounds
be
like a lovely
crazy.
trip. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be fun in a bigger car with my whole family. Because I think
Oh,
driving,
wow.
you would have had a smaller car, I think, with
Yeah, we had this
just,
tiny little thing with
you
our
know,
massive suitcases in the back like this.
yeah,
And there was these
that's
cars
ideal.
just whoo, whoo, whoo.
That's ideal because
Yeah.
you can navigate those hairy, but
Yes, the little
I don't know how
streets
we're
and
going to do it.
laneways and oh yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
I don't
sure
know how we'll work it
you'll
out.
have a great time.
We'll do some 3-point turns in
Yes, with
around the
some old
bends.
Italian yelling at
Oh my
you in the
God. Oh
background to
yeah.
move.
At least I can curse in Italian, so that'll be all right.
Well, that's good. We were just giving hand signals to people.
Oh my
Anyway,
God.
yeah, it was a looking back, we were quite terrified, but it was also quite funny, I think, for outsiders to watch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, no. So, all right. So, I think the next question is, tell me what started you on your food cooking journey. But I would say you would say that would be your heritage and following your dad around. Can you
Yeah,
tell us
like
a bit more about that?
yeah. Look, I mean, I was very close to my dad, so Um, I mean, my parents came from Calabria in the 1960s. They moved to Wollongong, as a lot of Italians did, like
Yes.
around that time they migrated there. And my dad just, like both my parents came from agricultural farmlands in Calabria.
Mm-hmm.
So when they came here, they just did like tried to replicate that, but here, which is all they knew. Like that's all they knew. So they sort of,
Mm-hmm.
started that here. I think for my dad, it just remained very true, and he just continued. And I mean, he just kept doing what he knew, and he knew himself. So he just loved, I think he, without knowing that he loved it, he just loved it and kept doing it. So
Yeah.
I suppose being around him and following him a lot, just it maybe, DNA, I don't know, just it was there
Yeah.
and it filtrated into me. And yeah, I mean, I lost my father when I was 12, so that was very traumatic for me.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
I think in my 20, I sort of was a bit lost early on in my sort of
Mm.
late teens, early 20s as a result. And I think I was reconnecting to him through going back into like doing the landscaping, like I
Yeah.
didn't really know myself, but I was doing like I've been through 1,000 jobs and career,
Yeah.
just trying to and so yeah, I think I was just reconnecting to my dad and that part of
Yeah.
him, and that was really
Being with the
connected,
earth. Yeah.
yeah, really connected to that, the land and food and bringing it to the table. So yeah, I think that's what's
Yeah.
always been the driving force, is just reconnecting with
Absolutely.
him.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
that's a beautiful gift that he passed on to you, right?
yeah,
You know.
100%. Mm.
And then I'm sure you're passing that on to your kids as well. Have they got an interest in food and cooking?
Trying. It's
Yeah.
very hard through the screens. I'm like, hello.
I know.
No. Yeah, look, Freya, my 14-year-old, loves cooking and baking. Remy loves, my 11-year-old boy loves eating. Well, not
Okay.
everything, but he loves
Yeah.
eating what we do. But they're not in the garden as much. I try to get them
Yeah.
into the veggie garden, but that's hard.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to motivate
Mm,
teenagers, that's for sure.
yeah. It's challenging parenting now, I think.
It really is.
Mm.
I've got a 16-year-old and a 14-year-old, and getting
Oh,
them out
yeah.
of their bedrooms. They come out when they want to eat.
Yeah.
So
Do any of them love cooking? Because you're a real, like, foodie.
yeah, yeah, my daughter she likes baking, so she's sort of
Yeah,
gotten that from me. She likes baking cakes, anything sweet. She's got a massive sweet tooth.
yeah.
So, cookies and cakes and things like that. And my son will cook on his own. Like he'll make himself things, get the fry
Oh,
pan
that's
out
cool.
and yeah,
Yeah.
it's yeah,
Mm.
from an early age I taught him how to make scrambled eggs so he could do it
Yeah.
himself, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he'll,
That's so good.
just the basic stuff, but I think, you're trying
They
to
need
give them
to.
some, yeah, you
Mm.
try to give them some tools for when they fly the nest and they have to feed themselves.
100%. Yeah.
that
I'm trying
isn't
to
that
do that
isn't
with Remy.
junk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
Okay. Can you tell me of a certain dish that you have made that has made you really proud, or it's something that that you love to make?
Well, that's a tough question. I mean, when I want to comfort someone, I love to make tortellini in brodo because that's a really like a warm blanket. So if
A
someone's
nice big
going through,
hug.
yeah, a nice hug. I love to make tortellini in brodo, like for that sort of, like in that
Yeah.
instance.
Can you explain what's in that? What's
Yeah, so tortellini is from the, Tuscan, Emilia Romagna,
Mhm.
Tuscan, Bologna. If you go to Bologna, you have to have tortellini in brodo. So tortellini traditionally has pork loin, which is a very lean cut of meat, and they cook that and then they mince it and add it with mortadella and
Mm.
prosciutto. Um, but
Wow.
I I make it a little bit different, and I hope you don't have any Italian viewers from Bologna
Cover your
because
ears now if there are.
and in my classes when I teach tortellini, I tell them this, but I change the pork loin to pork mince because I like more fat and because of the loin being a little bit lean, but that's to balance the rich, the fat of the mortadella and the prosciutto. But I just like going fat, so pork mince, prosciutto and mortadella, and then you add a Parmigiano Reggiano and an egg and not too much salt because you're getting salt from
Yeah,
the
there's quite a bit of
prosciutto and the
salt.
mortadella. Yeah. And yeah, you just sort of you grind that together, and yeah. So that's my take on it, but it's not the traditional take. And I know there'll be a few Italians that'll be angry with me, but
Hey, look,
I tell my class students, I say, if you've got someone from Bologna coming over, tell them there's pork loin meat in
yes,
there, and
that's
yeah,
one thing I love about Italians. They stick to the recipes,
they're
and if you
very,
go out of that recipe, it's like, whoa.
you're in trouble. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
there's a fight. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And then the
absolutely.
brodo, and then yeah, the brodo is, I do a chicken stock, and then it turns to brodo once you put a meat in it. So I often will put,
Okay.
yeah, I'll put like chicken drumsticks or whatever, something,
Ooh,
some kind of meat in there. I do
like a
sort of, I
protein.
normally do, yeah, like I normally do chicken drumsticks or chicken wings or something like that.
Mm.
And then you can take that meat out, and then you've got this really intense, lovely broth or brodo that
Oh,
you can,
beautiful.
that I cook the tortellini in and serve it in that. Yeah.
It sounds very similar to when I did at culinary school, where I did tortellini, but it was just a ricotta and parsley, and then I did a chicken broth with
Mm.
infused with fennel, truffle, and orange juice.
Yeah.
It's very, yeah, it was really good. I
Yeah.
love,
Yeah.
I really love, a lot of people are used to pastas with either like a creamy sauce or a tomato-based sauce, but having
Yeah.
filled pasta with a broth is really it is like a
Mm.
big hug, right? It's like that warm,
Yeah. Yeah.
it
Yeah. 100%.
nourishes your soul.
Yes, yes, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
There's lots of different shapes that you can, filled pasta shapes that you can do.
yeah.
And yeah, coming into the colder months, yeah, having
Mm,
them in broth is lovely. Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
I agree. Do you have a favorite pasta, like a pasta shape or, what's your...
Um, yeah, I love a lot of the pastas from the south because of the similar element to it, like semolina.
Hmm.
Semola is
Hmm.
the the refined version of a semolina. And I
Hmm.
like similar pastas to create very defined shapes like orecchiette, the E shape. One from
Yeah.
Puglia. I like casarecce, which is from Sicily. That one's like a little tube, like it's got like like an indent in it, like a U-shaped indent. And I love those kinds of shapes and those pastas made with semola because they're a little bit firmer even once you cook them al dente, but they're even firmer again to bite into. And I'm
Mm,
a very textured eater, so I love
yeah.
lots of texture in my food, but I love the pasta to be firmer when you cook it al
Yeah.
dente. And the semola helps that because of the
Does it?
additional protein in it. Yeah,
Yeah, right.
yeah.
I do
Mm.
like the shorter pastas or pastas that can actually carry the sauce.
Exactly, yeah. So
Yeah.
casarecce, orecchiette, all of them designed to cup your
Yes.
sauce. Yeah, I
Yes.
love
You've
that.
got like that little bowl
Yes,
of
that's my
the
favorite.
sauce carrying. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. Yeah, I love that.
Okay. All right. I think I probably know the answer to this one, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
Okay.
If you could go anywhere for dinner right now, anywhere in the world,
Mm.
like be quite specific, where would you go? Like a
Oh
particular
my
restaurant or
God.
a region?
How could I answer
Yes.
that? There's so many places that I want to go. Look, um, uh, I mean, look, I did, my husband and I did recently come back from Melbourne. I know that's going to shock you because I know I think I'm going to say somewhere in Italy. And look, a lot of places in
Mm,
Italy I can mention, but I just came back from Melbourne, and my husband and I went to Tipo Doppio Zero, which is a restaurant down there that I love and consistently go to every time I'm in Melbourne. But we had this amazing oxtail dish. I keep thinking about that dish since we got back a couple of weeks ago, and yeah, I've been looking for oxtail ever since.
oh, have you?
Yeah,
So it's an Italian restaurant, but by the
it's
sounds of
Italian
it.
restaurant.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Tipo Doppio Zero down in Melbourne. They're consistently great. It's a pasta bar, and their pastas are fantastic. They make them all in house, and I always get the pakari dish, which I love. And but we also they have a few sort of non-pasta dishes. Just start with and the oxtail dish that's grilled, and oh my God, it's so beautiful. So I
Sounds
would go there
incredible.
right now if I could
Okay.
to have
We'll
that again.
we'll teleport you down there.
Thank you.
Um,
Okay.
Paint a picture of your ideal dinner party. Where are we? Who's there? What are we cooking?
You got all the hard
Yeah.
questions. All right. So a dinner party. So
Mm.
so it has to
Mm.
be a long table,
Mm-hmm.
candles. I definitely have to have
Beautiful.
candles on there. And I'd love it if it was like, in like on my villa in Sicily or Puglia somewhere.
Yes.
Long table on a paddock, hills and lovely trees, olive trees or whatever. But a long table, coming on to night, dusk, so candles, just good friends around there, eating lots of
Mm.
food and chat and nice music in the background,
I can
maybe.
feel it. I
Mm.
can see it in my mind. It's
Oh,
beautiful.
good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Has to be candles and yeah,
Yes.
lots of food
Wine.
and wine. Yeah, of course. Yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah,
sounds
and just lots
idyllic.
of good friends and lots of
Mm.
chat and yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what food does. It just brings,
it does, doesn't
people
it?
together. Yeah,
I
I love that.
love, I love, yeah, so do I. I think the stories that you can tell over a table of good food and wine are pretty easy. Easy, they
Mm,
come easily, you know.
yeah, 100%.
Everyone's relaxed, and yeah, I
Yeah,
love
I mean,
that.
I witness it a lot in my cooking classes because we sit
Mm,
down at the end of a class and eat together. And, I mean, people come as strangers and they leave as friends, from a class. So
yeah,
I see how food really does bring people together on
it
a
does.
regular basis. So
Yeah,
it's beautiful to witness that. Yeah.
absolutely. It's the real equalizer,
Mm,
you know. Yeah,
yeah.
I love that.
Mm, mm.
Okay. When you're in the kitchen, are you listening to anything? Music, podcasts?
It depends. It depends if I'm preparing for a class or creating a recipe. I
Mm,
tend to be in silence because I need to hear myself and just be like,
yeah.
um, especially prepping for a class or if I'm doing, I do a lot of collaborations where I teach an element of a dish, but then cater another 6 courses for 30, 40 people. So sometimes
Okay.
like when I'm prepping for that, I have to be kind of not I have to be really focused. I find I
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
I have to like really be, thinking and present. But if I'm just cooking for enjoyment or for myself, I'd love to have the music on. Like I love music, especially if the kids are around. I love to have a TV off and just have music playing and preparing food, and sometimes podcasts. If I love listening to podcasts as well. So music at dinner time, like if I'm cooking dinner, and then podcasts
Yeah.
if I'm doing something during the day and the kids aren't around or something.
Yeah, exactly. You put your headphones on and just
Yeah, because I'm kind of
zone out.
if my podcast is on, I zone out, and I don't like that if the
Mm,
kids are around because
yeah.
I like to try and be present with them. If they're not around, I'll put a podcast on, yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Mm,
It sometimes relaxes me, the podcast. I mean,
mm.
I, it might sound a bit weird, but I like listening to true crime, and that
Oh,
relaxes me.
wow.
And apparently that's weird.
That's no,
I'm a
whatever,
weirdo.
whatever works.
That's what I say.
That's really popular genre now, isn't it? Like the
Yeah, it's
true
huge. It's
crime.
huge.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've been a big fan of true crime since I was in my teenage years. My mum used to buy. I don't know if you remember back in the day,
Mm.
like at newsagents, you could get these little like books that came in a big book and in a binder, and a new one came out every week. Like it was
Oh,
like
right.
they're
Yeah,
all
yeah,
different
yeah.
subjects and
Sounds,
stuff.
oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, my mum got the
Mm.
true crime one of all these different murders. And I was just like, oh, this is great.
Sure.
Exactly. We'll move on to something more positive.
Yes, that'd be
Um,
good.
all right. What is your favorite or your go-to piece of equipment or utensil in your kitchen?
Mm.
What's the one you go for?
Um, well, um, I mean, I think good set of knives go without saying, right?
Hmm.
So, I mean,
Absolutely.
it goes with it, yeah. A good chef's knife and then a couple of good little knives. The microplane I love. It can't be without that because I not just for zesting, but like citrus, but also like I do garlic and I
Mm.
freeze my long red chilies and then I use the microplane to sometimes grate that.
Oh, that's a good
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah, and I freeze ginger too sometimes, and then I can just microplane grate it into stuff, which
Mm.
I makes it a bit easier. I have a rolling pin that I love that I've had forever, which is the handles are stable and the middle part like rotates round, and I
Oh,
love
they're the
that.
best kind.
Yeah, I love those for just a really nice even. I get a really lovely even like roll in my pastry. Sorry, I'm talking to a.
Beautiful.
You love baking, don't you? So you get what
Yes,
I'm
I love
talking about.
pastry. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We can nerd out over pastry.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love that rolling pin. I bring it with me when I travel to do workshops around. I have that in my
Beautiful.
like suitcase. So I've got a handheld KitchenAid, electric KitchenAid KitchenAid
Great. Yeah,
mixer.
that's handy.
Yeah, they're so good. And I love, like, I bring that away when I go, like when we go away, even for family holidays, I bring that to make pancakes and whatnot. So yeah, I love that. Those are
That's
the
a
things
true
that I would
foodie.
bring in a electric KitchenAid to coastal holidays.
Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing worse to get into
Mm.
a holiday
Oh
apartment,
yeah.
and they to have like a horrible Teflon fry pan or
Oh yeah, I
with
hate.
scratches in it, and
Yeah, I
like I'm not
know.
cooking on that.
I know. I
Yeah,
bring, yeah, yeah, I hate that sort of stuff. Yeah.
absolutely. All right. This is a good one.
Hmm.
Do you have any rules in your kitchen? And if you do, what are they?
Rules in the kitchen. Wash your hands. When you first come into the kitchen, wash your hands, tie your hair back,
Yes.
and taste food as taste, like
Oh,
as we're going. And before you send the food out, taste. But we taste, like,
absolutely.
I'm very big in my classes, like we, when we're making gnocchi filling for, like, I get them to, like, I cook the filling before we like wrap it in
Hmm.
pasta to make
Yeah.
tortellini or whatever, because it's very important to make sure the seasoning is good before you
Oh,
go and
absolutely.
make 100 tortellini. You got to make sure that
Mm.
the filling's good. So yeah, tasting is very important. Yeah, that's a big
Tasting
rule for
is,
me.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great one. I think
Mm.
tasting, I always say to people, you've got to taste throughout the whole cook, you
Yeah,
know,
not just
at the
at the
st
end of the meal,
no,
just the
no,
whole
no.
way through. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
at the start,
Mm.
see where you are and go, okay,
Yes.
let it develop a
Yeah.
little bit and then
Yeah.
add a bit of this, bit of that.
Yeah. Everyone's so
But
surprised when like in my classes, when we do like gnocchi, potato gnocchi or ricotta gnocchi, like I make the dough, but I rip a bit off and we cook a little bit. And even when we make tortellini or ravioli or any of those sort of things with a filling that
mhm,
seasoning will affect, they're always like, oh yeah, like it's a surprise that we're
yeah,
testing. And I'm going, trust me, you don't want to make 100 or whatever tortellini and then go, oh shit, it's bland, like in the middle, or
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So
that's the
I'm
worst.
I'm really big on that, and yeah,
Yeah,
right throughout, not just at the end. Yeah.
yeah. And so then, I was just speaking to somebody the other day about this very subject, and
Mm.
another bat the worst thing is when you put a plate down and someone doesn't even taste it and then goes and puts a whole heap of salt on it without even
Oh,
tasting it. That
yeah.
happens here a lot in Chile. They love their salt.
Oh God,
They say, no, you got to.
that's because if you've seasoned it well with salt and then
Mm,
they go, that's gonna make it salty.
yeah, it's going to ruin
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that's gonna ruin my dish, dude.
Absolutely, absolutely. Taste it first. I mean,
100%. Yeah, yeah.
everyone has different, salty
Yeah, yeah.
tolerance, I suppose. What I
Yeah,
might
yeah.
think is not salty could be salty to someone else. So, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
always
yeah.
taste.
Taste
Absolutely.
100%. Yeah, that would
Yeah,
be
yeah.
my. And clean up after yourself. I've got a 14-year-old who
Yes.
doesn't clean up after us. I hate that.
Uh,
Oh, they're my
that's ins
rules.
Yeah, you've got very good rules,
Mm,
and I will follow them in your kitchen, that's for sure.
good. You can come then.
Thanks. Okay. What would be your last meal?
Mm. Man, you've got all the hard
Oh, I'm
questions.
hard hitting here. I am hard hitting journalist here.
Oh my God. All right. So, I mean, if it's cold weather, so if we're in winter, I would
Hmm.
have tortellini in brodo would be my last dish if it was a cold. I love that dish. That's my favorite. Yeah, I would go to tortellini in brodo if it was winter, but if it was warmer weather and it was my last day, I would have spaghetti alle vongole. I love that.
Ooh,
Mm, you
that
know,
sounds interesting. I have not heard of that. Can you explain that?
spaghetti alle vongole is so spaghetti, but then it's
Yep.
you've got vongole, or like clams, pipis. Vongole is just a
Mm.
different. part of that sort of family of, little, what's that family called? Well, it's a crustacea, like shells, but
It's a shell.
um, yeah, shell with vongole, and you in a pan, it's garlic, parsley, white wine. You
Mm,
put the clams in, you add the white wine, a lid,
mm,
little bit of the pasta water to help open the vongole out, and then your spaghetti goes in, and
yum.
yeah, yeah,
What's
I
your
would have that.
take?
Mm.
What's your take on like a seafood pasta and
Mm.
adding Parmigiano Reggiano? Because people are very divided on this.
Well, you don't add Parmigiano Reggiano, but I also come from the school of whatever tickles your fancy, do it. Like I'm
Yeah,
not a
yeah,
staunch, I have a lot of Italian cousins who always, go off at me about stuff, but I'm just like,
yeah,
I'm I am an open-minded, flexible person. If you love Parmigiano Reggiano on your seafood pasta, then do it.
yeah.
If you're next to an Italian, they'll probably say
No, I
that's
know.
no, no, no.
No, no, no. I am one of those heathens that like Parmigiano Reggiano on my seafood
Yeah, yeah.
pizza, pasta. And
Pasta,
I actually
yeah.
went to an Italian restaurant. This was years ago, and I
Mm.
got my beautiful. It was like a prawn linguine, and I
Oh,
said to the
yum.
waiter, "Can I have some Parmigiano?" And
Mm.
he left, and he came back, and he said the chef is refusing to give it to
Yeah.
you. I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay."
Look, Italians, look, I come from an Italian background, and I know how like rigid
Mm,
some Italians can be. God, I hope you don't have a lot of Italians listening. But anyway, uh, but I
I love this.
understand. I understand that, but I'm not of that nature. I'm very like I'm I understand that people have different sort of preferences to foods and different
Hmm.
taste buds. So
Yep.
if your taste bud loves a bit of Parmigiano Reggiano on your seafood pasta, I'm not gonna pull my nose, like, put my
Yeah.
nose up to you. I will
Yeah.
just let you have that.
You let me go on my
I
merry
don't.
way.
Yeah, I mean, you don't. That Italian person doesn't have to have it. If that,
No, I'm not
I
making them
won't.
eat it.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. So yeah, I think it must have come from my pastry kitchen times, because even I had one boss at one time who was very, it has to be done this way, and was
Yeah.
really aggressive about that sort of stuff. And I'm not like that. I like, if you can get to the desired result in a different
Yeah.
way, I'm happy for that. Like, I'm not, I don't know. I just don't believe in that sort of stuff. But anyway,
Yeah.
yes, have
No,
your
that's good.
Parmigiano
Yeah.
Reggiano. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Ange. I will actually. I am going to. Okay, this is our last question. What is something you've learnt from the kitchen and cooking that you've taken to like into everyday life, like a lesson that you've
Mm.
learnt?
Probably that, what I just said, I think before, is to be open, that not
Hmm.
everyone, um, yeah, just to be open, and you can get to the same dish in different ways. So to be
Hmm.
open to other people's ways, and
Yep.
that's probably,
That's a good
yeah,
life lesson, really, isn't it? Just
yeah,
being
I've learned that I'm
open-minded and mm,
open-minded. I think when people become rigid, it blocks the flow of what
mm,
the food's about.
yeah,
It's not about this way, and like that wrecks the flow of the beauty of what food does, and what it
yeah,
does, and what it
mm,
brings to other people. If you're going to block that flow, and so I've learnt to be open-minded
yeah,
about different
yeah.
people and different things and different ways of making stuff, and being open
I
to
love that. Yeah. And you block yourself from possibilities, right?
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. You're not open, then, like, how do
yeah,
you learn? Like, if you're not open?
exactly. Yeah, 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 absolutely. Perfect. Now, I just wanted to ask you a question about the cooking tours. Is that information on the website as well if people wanted to, are you
Yeah,
still doing those or?
yeah, I've at the minute I just do Melbourne food tours. So on
Mhm.
my website, there's a food tours page, and then when you
Okay.
go on there, there's like there's an Australia page, and in there will be the Melbourne ones. They're sold out for this year. We go early September, and that's sold out. And then
Okay.
there's the Italy page, and on that you click on that, and there's just a brief saying that. Like stay tuned kind of thing,
Okay.
because I don't have an Italian tour done, like organized yet, but my future
Okay.
is to do that. Yeah.
Perfect. Oh, that's good. I've actually been
Mm.
looking online at villas to buy.
Yeah.
I'm
my,
dreaming. I'm
my
manifesting the
yeah,
dream.
my dream goal is to have agriturismo in the south of Italy, where I'm there 6 months of the year. You can come and
Yes.
live on my property. We can do garden classes and then do food tours from there. So yeah, that's
Oh,
my dream too.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. My dreams, yeah, to have like a purpose built, like an old house with
Mm.
accommodation and a
Yeah.
separate building with a commercial kitchen where we can do
Yeah.
classes and
Classes.
chefs can
Yeah.
come, chefs can come in and give classes
Oh,
and we
that's
could,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. That's my dream
yeah,
too.
that's,
Wish
we
high
have the
five.
same
Woo,
dream.
woo, high five. Woo.
I found a beautiful property in Tuscany today and I sent the link to
Oh,
my husband and I'm
today
like, yeah,
you're doing it on a daily basis,
I'm
looking
like, oh,
for.
look at this one. I mean, it's years off. It is years off,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm like,
100%.
oh, this looks nice. This is a bargain. You and like my son, he's 16 now. So by the time we
Mm,
get like you and him can renovate it and do the
yeah.
inside stuff. And he's
Mm.
like, oh yeah, righto. Good on you.
Oh, yeah. This is my dream. Just
Yes,
like go
just go
along
with
with
it.
it. Yeah,
Go
yeah.
with it, mate. Yeah,
Mm,
exactly. So you're a culinary teacher and owner of the Village Cooks Cooking School, and we can
mm-hmm.
find you on the website. I'll put that in the show notes. And if any listeners would like a 10% discount off their cooking class, all they need to do is, oh no, I'll also put this in the show notes, Nourish 10. So if anyone's in the Sydney area or if you're visiting Sydney, I highly recommend doing a class with Ange because you are not only going to be well fed, but you are going to walk away meeting Ange and meeting other beautiful people and having a beautiful time. Am I right, Ange?
You
Is
100%.
that good?
Woo, 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 woo. 100%.
Yeah,
I'd love
wonderful.
to have I'd love to have your guest.
Yeah, wonderful. Absolutely. Well, thank you so
Mm.
much for coming on today. I think we had a great chat and it was amazing getting to know you and your story and what you do. And yeah, so thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate you.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.